Now going to discover investment opportunities in Oman. And we're very fortunate to have amongst us today someone who spoke a little bit earlier, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Al-Isa, who is the Chief Planning and Communications Officer for Oman. Mr. Al-Isa, the floor is yours. Or I should say the stage is yours.
Mic is on. Right. All right. A presentation after lunch. That's interesting. Wait for the screen to come in. I've heard different versions of my name, but Mustafa is the first time. It's actually Mohammed Murtala Al-Isa. So thank you for that. I am very delighted to be here today amongst all of you. As I was on the airline trying to put this presentation together, I kept thinking, do I want to bore everyone with numbers and ROIs and investments and profits, or shall we make things a bit different? And I thought, let's just start with the case study of COVID, since somehow or the other, every time we try to move on, it still somehow resonates with us. And I kept thinking, what are the things that we've learned from it? Now, our hearts and thoughts go with the people who lost a lot, but there are lessons to be learned. And there's one thing that we've learned from COVID, for me at least, is to appreciate the most basic, most important things in life. Something that is as basic as breathing. I'm not saying breathing that takes things for granted. I mean really breathing, appreciating breathing, being in the moment and living the moment. And so, if you allow me, I'd like to start with a video and a film of the most flagship upcoming project in the Sultanate of Oman that very much resonates the post-COVID arena. And I believe that it sets the city of resilience that we're all out to develop for the future.
To be connected and living in harmony with ourselves, others, our environment, means we get to experience more of ourselves than we had before. Welcoming a new paradigm for life, work, and play, where life happens together and we define the new possible. A place for a better tomorrow, today. Come discover your dynamic harmony.
Encapsulates everything that we've been looking at after COVID. What is it that the consumers are looking for? What is it that the people are looking for? God forbid another COVID hits us, but this time hits our food or hits other elements of our lifestyle. Are we ready? Or are we going to give the same response of, well, it's out of our hands? Well, actually, we need to learn from it. And so this is basically one of the most iconic developments that Oman is going to be delivering in the next few years, called the Sustainable City of Yeti. In the next few slides, I'll tell you more about the investment opportunities that we have in that. But before, let's just talk about why Oman. For those who resonate and know about Oman, you guys know that it's stationed and located in the Middle East, one of the GCC countries, but it is also one of the GCC countries that is in the Indian Ocean Capes location. It is usually known as the best kept secret. It is known as the hidden jewel of Arabia. But to be honest, no one is hiding. I can assure you from that. Oman is absolutely open for business. And even though it has been positioned as a very pristine, very authentic, very much a fraternity of a location, the country is open for tourism and it is open with travel going forward. It is a very unique country that really combines different elements, whether it's the ageless of the traditions, but the modern lifestyle into our day-to-day. And across Oman, from north of Musandam all the way to south of Dhafar, it's one of the only unique locations where whether you're hiking in a mountain 2,000 meters above sea level in daylight, you're actually camping in the middle of the desert in the sunset of the same day. How often does that happen around the world? It's a country that celebrates its diversity, not only the diversity of its people, but the diversity of its nature, whether it's the pristine beaches, endless sands, or really the rugged mountains. It's that contrast that we celebrate. We choose to be different. It's not your typical destination in the Middle East. It is really about adding a contrast and adding that experience to be able to see what makes us a very different, personalized culture. It's not about investment opportunities only in real estate or in hotels, but it's investment opportunities and experiences in UNESCO heritage sites, whether it's the forts or the Luban tree that used to be more expensive than gold at some stage in our lifestyle, whether it's the irrigation village or it's the ancient city of Qalhat, whether it's the traditional villages that we basically not only use as tourism destinations, but they're actually part of our day-to-day lifestyle as we speak. And this is where we see Oman as different, and the new Vision 2040 that has been set up by the government basically resonates this extremely well in its summary. The Vision 2040 talks about 4 primary pillars: a society of creative individuals that aims absolutely in the pride of local identity and making sure that we celebrate this local identity, that it's engraved in the DNA of every lifestyle or project that we work on. A competitive economy that is no longer driven by the government, but it's a private sector-led economy, which is why at Imran we take pride that we deliver these destinations not on our own, but actually with the responsible partners that we have on board. Whether it's the environment and sustainable components, the flora, the fauna, the eco-lifestyle, and making sure that the environment has the same rights as the human beings who live in the same land, and the responsible state agency. And everything that we do in the tourism resonates well with the direction. It's a natural place and an organic place to grow, whether it's a natural place to rejuvenate, a natural place to discover heritage and culture, or a natural place to explore yourself within the getting lost in the ancient city of nostalgia. It's all about combining these elements and being the right place and a natural place to invest. And this brings me back to the Sustainable City of Yiti, our flagship project. It's a project that is 11 million square meters that is stretched across one of the most iconic beach destinations in the heart of the capital, Muscat. And the first of these projects is a partnership that we've already had with a development called Diamond Developers from the region that's invested about $1 billion to make sure that we create the first ever sustainable city in the country. And this is not just about living in the norms of today's trend, but to see how can we create a sustainable city that produces the energy that we consume, that has zero waste, that actually looks at the design elements in the sustainability elements that ensures that we have the right natural fooding systems and the right water recycling systems going forward. And within the same project, we have another development with a Saudi developer called Dar al-Arkan, which has taken about 3.5 million square meter and invested another $1.5 billion to create a number of 3,500 units, including medium-sized, wellness, serene areas, houses, and apartments. Now, why is this important? The reason I'm mentioning is, the subject is, what are the case studies today that we have that is still allowing investors to come and partner with us? Because it goes back to some of the pointers that I mentioned in the panel discussion. It's not just about the P&L. It's not just about the ROI. It's about how do these developments actually add to the social and the sustainable and the environmental context going forward. These design elements basically go across the entire development that we have. And so as you see, we basically have the sustainability city on the left, the AIDA project below, and the investment opportunity that we have now of about 500,000 square meter is offering to the investors as we speak. And this again goes back to the importance of not just getting any investor, but getting the responsible partners who will be part of our purpose of creating sustainable destinations for the future. The design elements is about easy access for everyone, eco-friendly, unique identity, and mixed-use development that is not only designed for the people who want to live in their private beaches, but the public realm, to make sure that everybody gets an essence of why such sustainability cities are a role model for us. We're very much aiming to hit the 2050 net zero goals by 2040 and creating the sustainability cities of tomorrow today. Whether it's organic vertical farming, like I mentioned, clean and renewable energy, or harvesting the humidity and recycling 100% of the water. These are all going to be a test bed for us to look at the sustainability elements for the future cities to come. And this basically is the heart cornerstone of what my company Umran does. The Oman Tourism Development Company is the master development of all tourism destinations, or most of the iconic tourism destinations in Oman. We believe in the growth of tourism, and we believe in reflecting Oman's beauty, peace, and hospitality. We're master developers of tourism destinations, urban communities, and operators of single asset hotels as well. Umran believes in diversity, not only in particular framework functions, but across the country from north to south. We started by delivering single assets that were green hotels, LEED certified, going from silver, going to gold, and today we're going to build the first sustainable city in the country, and there is no way back. We're only going to be looking forward. How can we push the sustainable agenda going forward? We've got 4,000 employees, about $1.7 billion worth of investment portfolio, 5 master developments, and more than 8 joint ventures that partner with us to deliver the country across Oman to celebrate the diversity of the region. It's a diverse portfolio that goes from 30 hotels all the way to one of the biggest names and brands in the world, IHG, Nikki Beach, W Hotels, and the list goes forward. Not only do we look about the development of the country, but we also have the company subsidiary Visit Oman that looks after the online booking sessions and an online portal for getting tourists. So basically, it's a company that is the right partner to look at the entire value chain of tourism and as a gateway to start from the country. Our means of partnership is whether you have ownership and stake in existing operating assets, joint venture and service lands, single asset development, or joint ventures in large-scale integrated tourism schemes. This all comes within a number of incentives that Oman as a country has offered investors to invest, whether it's residential or investor visas for integrated tourism complexes, exemptions on lease fees that goes up to 5 years, full foreign ownership up to 100%, no income tax for individual, sustainable, safe environment and stable stimulating environment, but also user-fruct agreements that can go from 50 up to 90 years in some cases. We've got a legal system that has a number of laws, including bankruptcy, foreign development investment, and all of these transparently, all online for the business environment. But Yeti is not the only investment opportunity that Umran is delivering. Behind me is Alila Jabal Akhtar, the first hotel that was developed in Jabal Akhtar of 5-star. And what I particularly enjoy about this property is that it's one of the only hotels in the Middle East which you can find a fireplace in the lobby, because it actually starts getting freezing in the winters. And again, this is the diversity of Oman, whether it's the monsoon season in the south, or it's the winter sun during Christmas time, or basically having a firehouse on top of 2,000 meters above sea level. It's a different diversity of products and services that Umran delivers for the country. The other delivery investment opportunity that we have is Madinat al-Irfan. Irfan in Arabic actually means gratitude. It's a city that has a soul, and our soul is a soul of gratitude. It's a 7-kilometer development, right 10 minutes away from Muscat International Airport. And as we speak, first phase includes MICE, or what we call the MICE Industry and Tourism, which is a convention center, a 4-star hotel, a 5-star hotel, a 3-star hotel. And as we're talking about right now, the investment opportunity is a business park that we're delivering, making sure that the right amenities, the right connections, accessibility, create the right haven for commercial hub in the country. It sits on a site of about 40,000 square meters. The time frame is about 2 years. And it is basically not only having a commercial hub, but making sure that the wellness aspect of employees who live, work, play in one destination are all integrated within, again, the sustainability framework. The building behind us is our headquarters for our main telecommunication company, and this is the one that got the Platinum LEED certified, LEED being obviously the certificate for green from Green Council, US Green Council Authority. The other development that we have is the Mina Sultan Qaboos, which is a transformation of a port. It sits in one of the most iconic destinations in the country, whereby there's a 200-old souk, mountains, seas, and it is basically a transformation of an existing port that will transform itself as a gateway for tourism and opportunity in the country. And it's a $100 million, or actually $300 million investment delivery. It will be delivered in stages in about 15 years, but it sits in the heart of the capital city. It's basically the #1 destination of tourists, whereby all the yachts, tourists, the cruise liners come from the port, and all the major souvenirs hubs come from this particular part of the tourism destination. And going about destination of diversity, it's not just about real estate, like I said. Oman is also going to deliver the first agri-tourism project that is basically delivering a combination between a coconut farm that is delivered with our partners in Oman, the Oman Food Company, investment company, that is basically going to look at delivering more than 50,000 coconut trees with mixed-use tourism development. So people don't only look at it from a hotel, but actually get up and watch a farm and go experience the greenery that is around it. That is basically the diversity that we're looking at, and that is delivered not in the capital, but all the way south in Dhofar, where the Green Monsoon is. Our next big 5-star resort is coming up with the Four Seasons. That's back in Muscat, and that is also an investment opportunity that we're opening up for investors. It sits at about 130,000 square meter site. The delivery also will be into 2 phases, which is an approximate of 6 years, but it includes both a 5-star resort, but it also luxury apartments on the other side, both of them sitting at a marina, both of them sitting at some pristine shorelines in the heart of the capital. Then we go up north, Musandam. Musandam is a region that we're promoting to become the adventure hub in the region. This development particularly looks at not only the first zipline project in Musandam, but actually one of the longest in the world that crosses over sea level. There are different investment opportunities that we have, aside from the one that we have as a marina hotel, as we have the resort in the mountains of about 190,000 square meters, but making sure that aside from the ones that we mentioned and the dolphins that Gerald mentioned in our panel discussion, this zip line is going to be delivered on this year as we speak, and it is not far from being achieved. The view for those who want to be experiencing it is pretty much this particular view. And I think this is the kind of statements that Oman is trying to make sure that we balance between tourism delivery and living the essence of the nature surrounding and where we are. The last but not least is the Diba Wellness Beach Center, which is going to be one of the first wellness 5-star resorts in the heart of Musandam as well. And this sits at 105 square meter delivery. It is a transformation of an existing hotel that we have that we've completely transformed into a luxurious 5-star wellness resort in the next 5 years. And I've got a small video to show you as well, just to give you a bit of a glimpse on what to expect from an investment opportunity on this resort. So investors and those who know investors, keep a watchful eye. There's immense opportunities that we have in the country but it's not just any opportunity, it's a purposeful opportunity. Because the how is as important as the what. And again, going back to some of the pointers that we mentioned, it's not about just delivering projects, but it's about delivering them through a rigorous sustainability framework that we look at. Today's sustainability is 3 Ps: people, profit, and planet. And our sustainability framework is all about economy, society, and the environment. But Imran has added another element in the sustainability, which is culture. And we believe that it is not something that you engrave within your environment or the society, but to make sure that that cultural identity lives very strongly and proudly in every development that we do, and it sits as a DNA of our developments. These are some of the programs that we look, whether it's the greenhouses that we've built in Jabal Akhdar for the local SMEs, whether it's the local empowerment, women empowerment program that we had, Zari, in Musandam, or it's basically working with local women to hand sew the laundry bags in our hotels, which is kind of an issue because nowadays no one uses a laundry bag, they use it as a souvenir, and we keep continuously producing more and more. But that's what tourism is all about, making sure that they take some of these memories back to your town and come back to it. And this is what it's all about. It's about, the picture tells a million words. It's about the future generation. It's about finding the right programs, finding the right people, finding the right elements that make sure that all of the investment that we have somehow have a direct involvement and investment in the local capacity. And I'm going to leave you with one last slide. This particular picture says everything to me. This is the purpose. This is the objective. And for those who ask, what does Umran do? Aside from creating destinations of beauty and opportunity, this is our challenge, but yet it's our opportunity. How do we deliver developments and projects that make sure that we continuously have commercial value, but do not keep the environment, but we make sure that we keep the environment intact? And so join us in our purpose. And if anybody wants to know more opportunities about Umran, you can take a picture of the barcode, and we look forward to your partnership. Thank you.